Have you ever looked at everyone around you and felt like they were moving forward while you're just stuck behind? Maybe people your age are graduating, they're starting careers, moving out, getting engaged, traveling, or building the life that you've always talked about and dreamed about. And maybe you're just stuck there still trying to figure things out. Maybe you've had to start over in life. Maybe life didn't go the way that you thought it would. Maybe you're healing from something that really changed you as a person, and now you're wondering if you've wasted time. But I want to ask you something. Behind compared to who? Welcome back to Bloom Her, a space for women who are healing, growing, and trying to create a life that actually feels right for them. Today I want to talk about a feeling that we should be further ahead by now. Because I think that, unfortunately, a lot of us carry this pressure without even realizing it. We grow up believing that life is supposed to happen in a certain sequence. You go to school, and then you have to graduate, choose a career, and thrive in that career, become financially stable. You have to find your person, and then you have to move out, and then you get married, and then you build a life. And when things don't happen that way, it can feel like you've done something terribly wrong. But real life is rarely that simple. I can't even lie. Sometimes we choose the wrong path, and sometimes a relationship ends, and everything that you imagined for yourself is now over. Sometimes you have to move back home with your family when you've already moved out, and sometimes you lose that motivation that you had when you started. When you struggle with your mental health, your confidence, your money, or your sense of direction, that does not mean that your life is over. It does not mean you failed in life. It simply means that you're human. I think that we forget that progress doesn't always have to look exciting and fresh and new. Sometimes progress is getting that new job or finishing school, figuring school in general, figuring out the path and the career that you want for life, reaching a goal that you've worked towards for years. The thing that we don't really talk about as much is the progress that is much quieter, like walking away from that person that hurt you, or getting out of bed when you really didn't feel like it, brushing your teeth, applying for something even though you were scared to, and trying again after feeling like giving up for so long. Those things, they truly matter too. They may not look impressive online, but they still show growth. Social media makes it so easy to feel behind and also fall behind. We see announcements, vacations, relationships, new homes, new jobs, and perfect looking lives, but we do not see everything that happens behind the scenes. We don't see the rejection, the confusion, the heartbreak, the mistakes, the years of those people doubting themselves. We see one good moment and compare it to our own life. And to be honest, that's never going to be fair. Someone else reaching a goal before you does not mean there is less room for you to achieve your own. Their success, it doesn't cancel out your future. Their timing honestly has nothing to do with yours. There is no reward for rushing into a life that doesn't feel right. It's better to take longer and build a life that truly aligns with your own self, your own vision, and your values, rather than to just rush so that other people think that you're doing well. Maybe this chapter is not about having everything figured out. Maybe it's about learning who you are as a person. Maybe it's about letting go of the version of your life that no longer fits. Maybe this delay is actually protecting you, and the setback is just redirecting you. Maybe starting over is not proof that you failed, and maybe it's more so proof that you finally chose yourself and want to put yourself first. You're allowed to change your mind, and you're allowed to choose a different path. You're allowed to go back to school, switch careers, leave that horrible toxic relationship, and just to move homes, rebuild, rest, and just begin again. There's no age where growth suddenly stops becoming available to you. That is pretty much the point here. When you start feeling like everyone else is ahead, take a second and look at your own life. Think of all of the things you've already survived And think about what you now understand with that wisdom. Think about the things that you no longer accept and allow in your life. Think about the version of you from a few years ago and how proud she would be that you kept going. You do not need to know exactly where your life is going. You only need to focus and lock in for that next step. Send that application. Make the appointment. Take the class. Start saving money. Create the video. Even when you're scared, have that hard conversation. One small step can change more than we realize. A slow start is still a start. A different path is still a real path. And taking longer does not make your life less meaningful. You're not late. To be honest, you're also not failing or falling behind. You are simply growing through things that other people may never fully understand. Your life is still happening and it's still very real. It's changing and there's still so much ahead of you. So please stop judging your life based on where somebody else is. You're allowed to move at a pace that keeps you connected to yourself. It's important, honestly, that we just trust that our life can still become something beautiful even when it looks different from what we imagined it. If this connected with you in any way, subscribe and join me here every week as we continue healing, growing, and becoming the woman we really want to be. Leave a comment telling me one part of your life where you feel like you're learning to trust your own timing, because that's the point of this video. We just have to move steady and slowly at our own pace and the pace that feels right to us. I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.